those that are supposed to interpret it and then administer it.
See, what we're saying is that people should be passionate about their job. We should have people that love this country. People say, you know what, we don't want deregulation of petroleum products. We want the subsidy to continue. We want our refineries to be prepared. But you go talk to somebody who runs or works in one of these refineries, they will tell you why those refineries can never work.
There is a present and real danger for the corporate existence of Nigeria. Generally, this government is considered as weak.
It should not be so. If we remain like that, then we will remain in socio-economic and political thraldom.
So when you talk about passion, the people ruling us, they are not passionate.
Well, let's take
the House of Reps is not passionate. The senators are not passionate. That's why they are discussing without doing anything. Which sacrifice are they going to offer?
In Nigeria, governance is not about servanthood. Governance in Nigeria is about what can I get.
Last week on the agenda.
The National Assembly has initiated moves to amend the Central Bank of Nigeria CBN Act of 2007. The amendment, if carried out, will strip CBN of its autonomy. Now, the CBN is against the move, so as also other stakeholders in the money market. But can their argument sway the National Assembly? Many who have preferred answers to this question are calling for caution on the part of the National Assembly, and according to them, it is in line with international practices for the CBN to be autonomous.
The problem the National Assembly has is that it has very narrow considerations for pursuing some of its objectives. The issue is, you say the CBN has autonomy. The question I ask is, autonomy in whose favor? We talk about international best practices, but then Nigeria is a growing economy with very peculiar challenges. So I would prefer that they allow for more robust views to be heard on the issue. If we want the CBN to retain its autonomy, we should be able to sit down and say, what are the pros and the cons? But if the National Assembly, as it were, is driven by very narrow considerations regarding personality issues with the central bank governor, then we would not be able to unravel, why it is better to retain the CBN autonomy, or whether it is in our interest to moderate it a little. Because I have very, 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 very serious reservations about some of the actions that have been done or taken by the CBN. Supposedly in pursuit of its autonomous legal structure.
So when you talk about passion, the people ruling us, they are not passionate.
Well, let's take
the House of Reps is not passionate. The senators are not passionate. That's why they are discussing without doing anything. Which sacrifice are they going to offer?
In Nigeria, governance is not about servanthood. Governance in Nigeria is about what can I get.
Hello, good evening. You're welcome to the agenda on Love World Plus. My name is Philip Ihaza. Well, that was a review of last week's agenda. In case you're just joining us, what we look at on the agenda are issues bordering on security, political, current affairs, amongst others. And that is what we do on the agenda. You're welcome once again. Last week, we looked at CBN Act review and the fact that Senate had to bring down or whittle down the powers of the CBN governor and the whole system, talking about the CBN. But now that's the end of that issue. This week, we're looking at more serious matters that are bordering on the Nigerian House of Representatives controversial probe panels. That is an interesting topic, and I will not be talking alone about this. Mine is to listen, actually, and I'm talking to Mr. Sotonye Anga. He is the MD of Dawacom International Limited. He's a consultant and a public policy analyst. You're welcome on the show, sir.
Thank you, Philip.
Nice to have you.
Nice to be here.
Yes. All right, I'll just give a little background of what we're talking about. We're talking about the House of Representatives' bid to sanitize the various sectors of the nation with their probe committees, and it has become a recurring tale, like a recurrent decimal that ends with a sour taste in the mouth. You know, from the capital market probe to the recent fuel subsidy probe, the story has remained the same. Now, our question for today is, should the probe panels be scrapped? You know, what is the way forward for the House of Representatives probes? That's what we'll be looking at, okay? But before that, so it doesn't look like an oversight, we have issues bordering on security challenges right now in the country. And, you know, we have an email which you can reach us on. It's agenda@lovealplusnews.net, okay? We got lots of emails directing us to also scratch a little of the surface talking about security issues. You know, there's been a curfew which was actually relaxed on Monday, but because of riots and issues in Kaduna, Kaduna, Zaria, Damaturu, relating to the bomb blast that occurred on Sunday, that curfew, 24-hour curfew, has been reimposed on the states or the cities, and it's really causing a lot of discomfort to the citizens. Okay, so first and foremost, I want you to tell us a little bit, because we were talking about what you do. Okay, just quickly tell us a little bit of what you do so that we can link it to this, because I know it's definitely every Nigerian is affected by it. So.
Yes, every Nigerian is affected by this spate of bombing, killing, riot, and problems we are facing. It's a national challenge, and it's assuming a monstrous dimension, and is affecting every aspect of our livelihood. It's affecting our health, the health sector. It's affecting our education, the educational sector. It's affecting families. It's affecting government. It's affecting the traders. It's affecting everybody. So it's one issue, you call it security, but it has dimensions that has trickled into every aspect of our being, of our nation, the state where these things are happening, and it is a terrible thing. Okay, businesses right now in those states, Kaduna, Yobe State.
Can you make it personal? Business is talking about your business as a consultant.
As a consultant, and okay, it would interest you to know that as MD of DARCOM, we're into agribusiness. Okay. And we have operations in Yobe State where we buy agricultural commodities. We have operations in Kaduna. Okay. As I speak.
And interestingly, those are the states that we're looking at now that are seriously under siege, talking about the bomb blast. So how does it affect your business, especially as you have a channel there?
Number one, trucks don't move again. Okay. Because there is no security. See, if a vehicle is moving on the road, that vehicle can be shot at. So it means that if you have your goods in that vehicle, you're operating at a very high risk. In fact, the point right now is that Kaduna, the entire north, they've gradually become high-risk zones by reason of these security challenges. So something needs to be done. Children can't go to school. Okay, a lot of parents would have to compel their wards to stay indoors. Don't go to school, because stray bullet can kill anybody.
I hear the states or the cities are now like military base or military camps where all you see are military uniforms. So you just have to stay indoors. And the citizens are complaining about food, you know, restrictions to movement and how it's affecting their standard of living, you know. So that's a sad thing. And I can see it's also affecting your line of what you do. So what do you think should be done about it? Because
let's look at these zones we're calling. Kaduna, Yobe State, and all these other northern zones. These are people that either they are civil servants or they are farmers. So they are predominantly farmers. And then you have lots of civil servants. The farmer would need to go to his farm to do some work to get money. He needs to sell some crop. He needs to sell one food or the other to make money. Now, these people depend on their daily income. The money they make from the trade they do. That is what they depend on. Now, because of the spate of killings that have been going on, they've not been able to effectively do their business. They've not been able to trade effectively. So their businesses are grounded. Now, once businesses are grounded, the people are forced to stay indoors, not by choice, but because they can't help it. The security situation is simply terrible. So they are forced to be indoors. That means that poverty will be looking at them face to face. They can't feed. You're indoors, you can't feed. So you go hungry. Now, listen, when somebody is hungry, it becomes a more serious issue So the security challenge becomes more double because the hungry man, when he stays continuously hungry, he goes out to complicate the security issue because he too wants to carry arms.
Exactly.
The people carrying the arms, they don't have 7 heads. So we need to look at it that it is a big national disgrace and a big national problem. And we need to address it because the poverty is continuing and is getting bigger and bigger by the day. Do you know how much these states are losing every day? People are losing income. Those people that will have to harvest
the produce,
their produce to sell, they can't sell. So the ones they've already harvested will be wasted. Who pays for those wastes? Who pays for those wastes? These are what we need to talk about. So the kind of losses that people are incurring without any government support is huge.
Wow.
Terrible. Very huge. So something needs to be done.
Wow. There's a lot of energy already steaming up in the studio right now. I would have loved you to join us actually, but you can do that by sending us a mail on agenda@loveorplusnews.net. We need to take a break, and when we come back, there's more. You're welcome. You're welcome to the agenda on this week on Love All Plus, exclusively beaming live from Lagos, Nigeria. That's in the southwest part of the country. Now, my name is Philip Ihaza, and I've been talking to distinguished guests, and believe me, I have another distinguished guest, highly esteemed. His name is Mr. Michael Adedeji. He's an industrialist. You're welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
You're right on time.
Thank you.
Good to have you around. And also, I've also been talking to Mr. Sotonye Anga, and he's right here also with us. We started the show with security issues, but that's not the main issue we'll be talking about. We're actually looking at the Nigerian House of Representatives controversial probe panels. But before we go into that, you might want to chip in a little bit on what we were bordering on. You know, our former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, he spoke just before you know, these issues occurred in the House of Representatives. What do you think? Do you think he had an oversight, he has an insight to what occurred, or what exactly?
It's not insight to what occurred. It's knowing the people that he has been working with. He has been working with them. He's not a stranger to those people. None of them is really strange to him. So when he speaks, I believe he's speaking from experience. He might exaggerate a little bit. He's a human being.
Yeah.
So, but he speaks from experience.
Okay.
The probe panel, we have seen many of the probes. What is the outcome of them? What has been the outcome? So if the first probe produces somebody who has taken bribe, the second probe produces a group who has taken bribe, the third probe produces people who have taken bribe, who are these people representing? Are they representing us? Is this the model which we want to show to the world, that we have a model representative? That is not right.
So, sir, do you think the problem is with the system? That's the probe panel?
The problem is with the system. It's with the system.
Okay.
It's with the systems. And sometimes it may be advisable to throw an incurable baby out of the house with the water, with the dirty water. Because what we have, the House of Representatives, the National Assembly, is not doing us any good. There are so many distinguished people there. But if you have few that are bad eggs, it has spoiled the whole thing.
Just like they say, a drop of engine oil in the ocean.
Yes, of course. So that's what we have now. Okay. And none of them had credibility anymore in the face of what has happened. When you talk about our people, our honorable people outside Nigeria, they look down even on you. Is there any honorable people there? This is not how to run a government. I think the problem is with the system.
Okay. Okay. Now, looking at the capital market probe, which was earlier conducted, now the result in the it resulted in the suspension of lawmaker Honorable Hembe, who was accused of demanding a bribe of some 44 million naira from the SEC boss. Okay. And now, with this constant